Ashwin sir, you can start.
Yeah, Bazi. Again.
Recording.
Oh. Okay. Welcome everyone. Myself, I'm Ashwin. I'm the member of Rotary Bangalore Abilities, and I also taken the charge of director as a vocational services and also a club chairman for diversity and inclusion. I welcome all of you on behalf of our club for an insightful session on the four-way test. The four-way test sounds very simple, though it's a very ancient practice which has been adopted by Rotary way back in the year 1932, if I'm not wrong. We follow the principles of the four-way test at the heart of everything we do. Today, we have a renowned speaker to talk about the four-way test, its significance and importance, and how it can bring a huge impact on whatever we do. I request everyone to sit back and enjoy the session, and also stay on mute and hold on your questions until we open the floor for question and answer. So first things first, may I request all the presidents to call themselves? Meanwhile, I would request everyone to give a big round of applause for all the change-making Rotary presidents. Thank you so much, everyone. Now, may I request Pinky Gupta, Rotarian Pinky Gupta, to sing an invocation song. Rotarian Pinky Gupta, over to you. Pinky, has Pinky joined the call? Am I audible, Chandana?
Yes, she has joined. Arvind sir, can you make her the co-host? Yeah, I think now Pinky should be able to unmute herself.
Pinky, can you try to unmute yourself?
Yeah.
Great. We can hear you.
You can hear me, right? Yeah.
Yes,
There was no option to unmute. Sorry.
Fine. Go ahead. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. So good evening, everybody. Sorry for the delay. And let's start with the small prayer. O Palanhari, Nirgun aur Nyari, O Palanhari, Nirgun aur Nyari, तुमरे बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं, हमरी उलझन सुलझाओ भगवन, तुमरे बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं, तुम ही हमका है संभाले, तुम ही हमरे रखवाले, तुमरे बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं। चंदा में तुम्ही ने भरी है चांदनी, सूरज में उजाला तुम्ही से, ये गगन है मगन तुम्ही ने दिए हैं सितारे, भगवन ये जीवन तुम न सवारोगे तो कौन सवारे, ओ पालनहारे निर्गुण और न्यारे, तुमरे बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं। जो सुनो तो कहे प्रभु जी हमारी है बिनती, दुखी जन को धीरज दो, हारे नहीं वो कभी दुख से, तुम निर्बल को रक्षा दो, निर्भय वो हमें सुख से, भक्ति में शक्ति दो, जग के जो स्वामी हो, इतनी तो अर्ज सुनो, हर पथ में अंधियारे दे दो, प्यारे के उजियारे, ओ पालनहारे निर्गुण और न्यारे, तुमरे बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं। हमरी उलझन सुलझाओ भगवन, तुमरे बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं, तुमरे बिन हमरा कोनो नहीं। Thank you.
Wow, that was an amazing, lovely, and melodious song, Pinky. Thank you so much for that. Now, may I request our Changemaker President, Rotarian Kranti Purushottam, to present the welcome note. Kranti, over to you.
Hi everyone. A very warm evening to one and all who are present here. I'd firstly like to welcome our chief guest, Rotarian Surya Prakash sir. Thank you so much for making it today, sir. With one call just 2 days back, he agreed to come and join the event. Thank you so much, sir. Our trainer, Rotarian Sundaram sir, who will be training us this evening. There is you will know more about him when I speak about him, when I give him the when I read his profile. Thank you so much for coming in, sir. And as everyone knows, this 4-way test is very important for us, not only as a Rotarian, but even as an individual. So we need to follow this in our, this is very helpful, and we'll be going in a right way if we are following it in our day-to-day activities. So thanks for everyone who have come here, joined this event. Hope everyone would take a lot of inputs out of this event. Thank you so much, Sundaram sir, for making it today. I would like to welcome all the participants who have come here, joined, all our Rotarians, and people who have come from, who are just friends and family of our Rotary members. Welcome all of you who are here. I'd also like to welcome a special welcome for our Rotary Bangalore Abilities team for making this session happen today. A special thanks and welcome to Ashwin, who's been hosting the event. A very good thought from his side. He wanted this event to be his first event of the year, because he wants everyone to start with the 4-way test to be implemented everywhere. Welcome, Ashwin. and the whole team.
Thank you.
Over to you, Ashwin.
Yeah. So without a further ado, Kranti, would you mind to introduce our speaker of the day?
Sure, Ashwin. Rotarian N.K. Sundaram, a 68 years young man who has been a human skill trainer, HR consultant, recruitment consultant, pan-India and Middle East countries since 2011, 40 years of industry and 10 years of training experience, 11 courses in Udemy.com. He has worked in small firms for 4 years, central government, Delhi for 4 years, and in L&T, Delhi, Bangalore for 35 years, and has retired as a senior deputy general manager, HR Energy. He likes reading books. It is his habit from over 55 years. He likes writing, interacting with people, traveling, and exploring new places. Operating out of Bangalore, you can find him in LinkedIn, Site HR, Facebook, and YouTube. Yeah, this is a small description about him. The first rule in Rotary is, we should not exceed 30 seconds for introducing anyone. So I've made as brief as possible and I have introduced him. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ashwin.
Yeah. Kranti, can you also introduce our chief guest of the day?
Sure. I would like to introduce Mr. Rotarian S.V. Ratnam, sir. Surya Prakash Ratnam is his full name. He is an electrical engineer by qualification and an engineering consultant in the field of solar renewable energy. Rotarian since 1982 at Delhi and Bangalore, and has been the president of Rotary Club of Bangalore West in the Rotary year to 2021-22. Accepted the responsibility of chairman of FOVE Test Community under Vocational Service Avenue in District 3190 in 2022-23, that is this year. Graduated in engineering from Bangalore University and PG Diploma in Electrical Traction from IIT Kanpur in 1970. In the professional field, worked as a consultant for Turkey power projects in the last 10 years, especially in the renewable energy sector, namely solar PV plants. Also associated with steel industry in the captive power generation with waste heat recovery systems. Key skills include strategy, mission, and vision planning and communication. He is a member of Institute of Engineering India since 1971, a member of India Management Association since 1982, and Bangalore Management Association. Yeah, thank you so much for being here, sir. Ashwin, over to you again.
Yeah, thank you so much, President Kranti, for introducing our chief guest and speaker of the day. So, well, my dear friends, I can't wait anymore like you do. So let's all put our hands together to welcome our renowned speaker, Rotarian N.K. Sundaram, to present his talk on four-way test. Rotarian Sundaram, sir, the stage is yours. Please, it's over to you.
Sharing has been enabled.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir.
Give us a minute, sir. We just check.
Yes. All the cohorts
Yes, sir.
have.
Yes. Yeah.
Good evening, friends. Good evening, fellow Rotarians. It's nice to be here and then address all of you on this day on the four-way test. I shared with Mr. Ashwin Kumar when we first interacted that when it comes to Rotary, I am still an LKG kid because I joined our newly created Rotary E Utkrishta on November 27 last year when the club came into being, and one of my friends, Rotarian Dr. Subhashini Ramaswamy, she was the president at the time, and then she roped in. After joining and getting connected with people, even now I have that regret that why I did not join a decade ago when I retired from L&T. I would have done a lot for the downtrodden, the needy people. But then we can only, as they say, we can only set the clock back, but not the time. So whatever role being assigned to me, considering my age, although I am young at heart, but not so physically, still I do my level best to help my fellow Rotarians in our Utkrishta club as much as possible in their endeavors. I give a lot of ideas and suggestions. I draft letters, and then I keep pushing the envelope so that everybody has their own official professional commitments, and then they have to find time for doing this human service to the people at large. So I do my bit, whatever possible. So when it comes to four-way test, this is something every Rotarian who has been what you call inducted has to go through, but people may not find time after reading the 1, 2, 3, 4, because all of us are professionals and do many things in our career and also in profession. Time and again, we should reinforce certain things. The first being the four-way test. And as Rotarian Ashwin Kumar told that if we practice, follow, practice, and implement the four-way test, that will help us a great deal in our day-to-day, what you call, activities as well. Now, let's move forward. The four-way test of the things we think, we say, and do. The four tests are: first one, is it the truth? The second one, is it fair to all concerned? All concerned means with whom we interact, and also people who are at large, who will be or who may be affected by our decisions. The third one, will it build goodwill and better friendships? One of the important objectives of a Rotary is to build goodwill and also network better through better friendships. And the fourth one, there is also a Rotary focus: will it be beneficial to all concerned? So all these four tests I'm going to what they call dwell upon one by one. This is a very famous saying: we are what we think. If we think positively, our decisions, our actions will also be positive. So a person is molded based on his thought process. That's why children are taught, at least during our school days, every week, one period will be dedicated to moral instruction. Our class teacher used to tell so many things about Panchatantra stories, about stories on the good, bad, and things what we should do in our life, all those things. That helps children during the formative years to think properly and also decide on things which are what you call good for self and also others around him or her. The first and foremost thing that happens to us is thinking. The moment we wake up, we start thinking about what we should, where we should go, what we should do, to whom we should make call, the checklist for the day, and also what are the meetings we have scheduled today. Everything we start thinking during our every waking hour. Suppose there's a phone call, what we should answer, how we should answer. If there's a client meeting, what we should discuss about how to negotiate. So everything, how to communicate, everything always stems from our thinking process. Before we embark on any of our actions, we think, we plan, we decide, and then only we act. In case we need clarity, what we do, we think over and over again, analyze the pros and cons. We consult our family members, our friends, our team members, our what you call team leaders, also top management people, before we finalize the actions to be taken. So thinking plays a very crucial role in any normal human being's life. Therefore, we as humans are responsible for this. I very strongly believe, and then I always tell in all my training programs, we are responsible for our thoughts, our decisions, and actions. So we cannot blame internet, we cannot blame our telephone or the mobile phone or the messages or the email. So many things we come across in every day, and we cannot pass the buck to anybody else. We are responsible for our thoughts, decisions, and actions. Therefore, before we embark on something with an ulterior motive, it is always better to think several times over before deciding on the course of action that we should pursue. All the other three tests depend upon the first one, that's the truth. This will prevent us from taking unethical steps. Our thinking, our thought process, thinking properly will prevent us from taking unethical steps to achieve our selfish goals, that me, mine, that egoistic decisions. Before discussing our Rotary's 4-way test, let me slightly deviate and talk about Socrates' triple filter test on truth, which is the first test. On the day I was baptized as a Rotarian, there was talk about the role of a Rotary in public service by our Rotary governor. There was mention about the 4-way test as well. The moment I read the handout, the printed one, my mind drifted to what I know of already about Socrates and his triple filter test. I use this a triple filter test predominantly in my training on corporate etiquettes or business etiquettes, where people hear what you call the locker room talk, and also the float around a lot of rumors. And then I was heading HR for over 20-25 years. And then before we get to know the annual salary guidelines, people will become very close to me or pretend they are very close to me. They will ask me, boss, kya ho raha hai? This year, what we are getting. So they will come and ask me so many things. So being a responsible and in a HR role, a responsible role, I will always tell people that as soon as I get one, I will share with you. There's one way of sidestepping the what you call the people asking me inconvenient questions, and they will ask me several things about rumors that's happening in the business and also the top management changes and all those things. I used to tell the people, you will know everything as soon as it is in black and white or in the printed form, in the form of a circular. So people in responsible positions have to be non-committal, sidestep issues, and avoid committing something which may become a rumor also, whether it is a truth or not. I know my one of my bosses with whom I worked for 20-25 years, ever since I came to Bangalore and transferred from Delhi in 1987. Even during cocktails, he will always be holding a glass in his hand because it will be thrust upon him. And what he will do, he will be holding the same glass throughout the evening, talking to people, interacting with colleagues and junior, senior employees. When the dinner is announced, he will keep the glass somewhere on somebody's table and then go for dinner. Once I asked him, sir, I have never seen you drinking. He told me, Sundaram, the people like me and you holding important positions never even slip out one word, especially in get-togethers. We should avoid getting drawn into controversies. People will be looking for us to say something. So we should avoid getting committed, and then we should not be a source of some rumor. I mean, that's still in my mind. Being a soft skill trainer, I was trying to connect my thoughts with the triple filter test, about which I used to talk about in my training programs as well. The first of the four-way test talks about truth. Socrates was a Greek philosopher known for his great knowledge and wisdom. One day, an acquaintance of his met the wise man and said, "I just heard something about your friend. Do you want to know about it?" Maybe there was a time when there was no mobile phones or even email or something. Had it been there, I think Socrates' friend would not have spoken to Socrates this way, but then he would have sent a WhatsApp message. To this question, Socrates replied calmly, "Before you talk to me about my friend, it might be a good idea to test the importance of what you are going to say. Let it pass through the triple filter tests. The first filter of your information is truth. Are you absolutely sure that whatever you are about to tell me about my friend is true?" "Well, no," the man said. "I just heard about it from somewhere." All right. So you are unsure about the truthfulness of the statement you are about to make. Now, let's try the second filter, the filter of goodness. Is what you are about to tell me a good thing? No, answered the man softly. So you want to tell me something bad about my friend, which you are not certain it's true. You failed the first two tests, but you may still pass the test if you pass the final filter, the filter of usefulness. Is what you want to tell me going to be useful to me? No, not really, replied the man, shameful. Well, if what you want to tell me is neither true nor good or even useful, why to waste your time to tell it to me at all? Concluded Socrates. Although there is nothing wrong with talking about other people, it's what we talk about them that matters. It is so easy to fall into a pattern of unconscious criticism, doubt, and misunderstanding while involving oneself in a conversation about a third person. The short story of the great Greek philosopher Socrates could help us make a better judgment about the information that we consume every day, billions of bytes. The triple filter test can act as a very useful tool for blocking all the information that's not important to our lives. Every day, we come across a lot of messages and postings in media, Facebook, WhatsApp, and whatnot. We forward them immediately to our own circle of friends and relatives. We do not even bother to check about the veracity of the message or news. By not forwarding, at all, one second. We should at least avoid spread of false information. If you are not sure, better not to forward it at all. Nowadays, so many options are available in internet also for checking about a message, about somebody, a message in news items. So if you are sure 100% forward, if it is going to be useful, if it is going to be beneficial, if it is truthful, definitely. Otherwise, better trash it. We are living in an era of information overload. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, and whatnot. Daily, we are getting tons of bytes from various sources. The information that we get have both right and wrong, fact and fiction, fake and truth. Many of us believe in everything that what we read and never think whether they are right or wrong. Many people around us never question the veracity or truth in what we read, but religiously forward the same to another set of people. Unconsciously, they may be spreading falsehood. I read somewhere that 80 to 90% of what we come across in social media is not fact. Let's assume so. And then if we want to avoid spreading falsehood, let us put the right step forward and we will stop a wrong message about somebody spreading to other places or other recipients. Therefore, from now onwards, please do question the veracity or the truth of what you come across, check, verify, and unless you are convinced, please do not pass on the same to others. There was a short story about one of the former US presidents, Jimmy Carter. On his table, there used to be a small display which said, "The buck stops here." The objective of the display was, as the US president, he was responsible for all his actions and decisions, and that he won't pass the buck to others around. This is equally applicable to the spreading of falsehood. In the same way, let's become accountable for what we forward to others, especially when they are not proven beyond a doubt that the forward or the message contains truth or nothing but truth. Now, we will move on to the second test, that is it fair to all concerned? Whenever we think, decide, plan, and act, most of the time we think inwardly and selfishly. Maybe our relationship with Rotary and our networking, friendship with a lot of fellow Rotarians might have largely impacted each and every one of us in trying to be fair to all concerned. At times, some people may feel that how much will I get benefited, how much profit can I earn, and so on. We never think about others at all. You know, daily we might have seen a lot of postings and articles, like an old lady somewhere in Tamil Nadu who sells idli at 1 rupee. For several years she has been doing that. Or Anand Mahendra has seen that and then arranged for a house for her, something like that. So people like Anand Mahendra, although they are all very rich people, influential people, they keep scanning the internet horizon for doing good things. People who are very fair, maybe from some other people's point of view, it may be even unfair. When a set of idlis is being sold in any darshini for 20 rupees upwards, here is a lady who is selling at 1 rupee per idli. There are people like that. So such people never think about themselves, but always they think about others, the needy, the downtrodden. Already she must be selling at a loss or whatever it is, or she may not be really making a good profit out of her sales, but then she thinks about others. That's why she is still selling at 1 rupee per idli. So if we are always focused on selfishly about we and ours, we start negotiating and bargaining to get a little better, higher margin. At times, we may even end up becoming unethical in our dealings as a consequence. Here, greed takes over, and being unfair and unethical becomes part of our routine. So, money begets money, greed begets greed, and then our focus will be being unfair to all, not fair. When we think, plan, and do, we should consider people around us too, who may be affected in a negative way because of our decisions. Just for us to become successful and profitable, let us banish such thoughts henceforth. Even if we lose a little on the profit side, we should strongly believe in being fair to all in our thinking and action. Let's feel more happy in making others feel happy by giving away a little extra from our end through our dealings and transactions. Being empathetic will certainly help you being fair to all. Try to put yourself in others' shoes, especially the needy ones, and loosen your purse string a little more to help others. It will go a long way in having our peace of mind at the end of the day when we down our shutters, when we go to sleep. Today I helped somebody. Today I cut down my profit or my my profit margin, and then I helped one person, needy person. I made him feel very happy when I gave him something free of cost. When I gave him with 5 to 10% discount or 50% discount, the guy was quite happy. I made him happy today. Somebody that should be there at the end of the day. We'll have a very, very, very peaceful sleep by making others feeling happy, being fair to others. God has given us a good thought process to analyze and decide what is right and what is wrong, what is fair and what is unfair. Using the God-given faculties effectively. Will it build goodwill and better relationships? This is the third test, especially when we interact with people, when we develop a good relationship with fellow Rotarians, businessmen, and people who are not in Rotary, but with whom we interact very often in order to implement the objectives of Rotary. We may interact with somebody who is making flex banners, somebody who is printing, somebody is doing somebody who is providing food at a very concession. Many people we are interacting with. So at that point of time, we should think any of our actions, will it build goodwill and better relationships. After becoming a member of a Rotary club, in whatever role you or me play, whether it is an interact or a Rotaract or a Rotarian, our main aim should be to develop a goodwill with people around us. Rotary gives us ample opportunities to build network around us, far and wide, across the city, across the country, across the world. These days, one can achieve several things personally and professionally through this networking. And this can happen only if we develop a good relationship with others around us and selflessly. Because these days, people notice you and judge you in two conversations, in two bits of conversation. What is your motive? What is your purpose of this relationship? What is your objective? And people will definitely continue to have your friendship and relationship, provided they are able to see through you your the ulterior motive. So being in Rotary Club, our sole aim is to help the downtrodden, support them in whatever way we have discussed and decide in our Rotary meetings. Building goodwill and good relationships are like sowing seeds. In the near future and in the long run, those seeds will grow into beautiful trees. And you will be leaving behind excellent impressions for others to follow your ideals. We may not live in this world forever, but whatever we leave behind, the goodwill and better relationships, we will be remembered forever. good ethical practices through these relationships. That is, we leave behind excellent impressions for others to follow your ideals, your good ethical practices through these relationships. You will become a very good role model for the next generation through your thoughts and actions and the way we developed goodwill and also created and maintained relationships. The fourth way, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Our objectives, aims, and goals of a Rotary movement are focused on caring for the needy and the downtrodden sections of the society we are living in. There are several projects and activities initiated by all Rotarians and Rotaracts the world over, focused on benefiting the needy. Each initiative of a club will always focus on the beneficiaries only in a major way through whatever means possible. We should never consider an initiative or a project which is least beneficial to others, especially the downtrodden and the needy. Otherwise, it will be better to shelve that idea together. At least 90-95% of our focus should be on serving others and offering benefits to the people on whom we are focused upon. The benefactors will remember only one thing, Rotary movement. They may not remember the names of individuals who contributed a great deal, who worked day and night to make one initiative successful. They might have traveled long distances to meet somebody, interact with somebody, create a goodwill, develop and build a relationship, and then spread the Rotary word across the people, the beneficiaries. But people may not remember my or your name. They may not remember the names of individuals who contributed a great deal of their own personal time, their money, and other resources to make their lives better. But they will recollect the name of Rotary only. So our focus should be on all the four ways, are to speak the truth always, and then being fair to all, and develop and goodwill and goodwill and create good relationship with others through our networking. And last but not the least, becoming beneficial, whatever our thoughts and actions, to be beneficial to all people around us with whom we interact, either through Rotary or even outside the Rotary. I strongly believe that Rotary movement has given a different, an approach, a positive mindset, and also one more channel for people like me in the late 60s and early 70s, much all these years. So as he said, we have been running, I'm at least racing against time, and then try to do as much as possible through the Rotary movement. And we have got a lot of Rotaracts also from several arts, science, engineering colleges and B schools. I conduct free online training for students whenever they ask any specific help or guidance on career growth, job opportunities, whatever they ask for that. Because for the past 10-12 years, I'm doing these services on a paid basis, because we go to the colleges through some vendor or some company and then do the training. But in some places, when people ask for a free service on pro bono basis, I do provide without even thinking twice. For instance, long back in 2008 or 9, I happened to interview around 10 boys of Ramakrishna Mission Polytechnic, Mylapore, Chennai. It is part of my recruitment process, and my Chennai office had organized for this interview after filtering through 30-40 students, and we shortlisted 10 students for final interview. And what happened? Most of the boys in Ramakrishna Mission Home in Chennai are either they are orphans or they have only single parents. And so dedicated and so focused on learning, the students cannot afford to have a mobile phone in the hostel. And everybody, including the monks and the children, get the same. During months or during mango season, every child will get slices of mango. During summer season, every child will get ice cream. The food that the children get, the monk also eat the same. And they teach and train students on leadership skills. I have personally been watching for the past almost 12 years. If there is a genset, it is maintained by a team of students. If there's a puja maintenance, puja room maintenance, it's by students only. Prayers by student teams. Even the food survey being served in the canteen, students only. And how they do it? The third year diploma student will be the leader. Second year, first year student will be the team member. They teach leadership skills through this empowerment of students. And when I interviewed the 10 students, believe me, I asked the basic questions on automobile because few students of mechanical and automobile engineering branches were there. I asked them, can you draw a line diagram from the engine, the prime mover to the differential? I'm only a HR guy. I'm not an engineering guy, but I know I 25 years of experience in asking questions by my colleagues. I know what you call a huge database of questions on mechanical, electrical, electronical, automobile. I used to ask questions, but I will tell them, boss, I'm asking question. You check whether right or wrong. That's what I used to do. So the boy took a notebook, a pencil, and then immediately draw a line diagram depicting engine to the differential. And another two questions that fellow answered. Then we stopped. The next question, we started cutting down the questions because the students were so thorough in theories. So thorough in theories. At that point of time, I decided after my retirement, I'm going to help the students. Even now I'm doing that. Every year I am called. All the Swamijis, they know me very well. They will ask me to stay in the home itself. But I told them, even for one person, one night, I don't want to be a burden. I will rather stay in the hotel. Many a times, the students get trained by US Information Service, the local Council General Office, US Council General, and also UK British High Commission, British Commission Consulate, free service on English communication. So many things they do it, and then they pay also. When I go through them, they pay. What I do is I take the money and give it as a donation to the home, and then I come back. This is what I have been doing for the past 10, 12 years. And I enabled a lot of students for the past 10 years in getting placement in companies where I know, where I have done training. This is something I have been doing that, and God bless. And if everything happens to me, I will continue to do this kind of service to the needy, to the downtrodden, within my own means and my abilities. So I come to an end here, and I keep the floor open for any questions and questions on these 4-way tests.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to say that the way you have articulated the concept of 4-way test is really commendable, sir. So we are all at the beginning. We are all the beginning of the Rotary year. So I am damn sure that the Rotarians in the audience would have definitely benefited with the facts and the explanation. And I'm damn sure that this session has helped them to move in the right direction and do more in the Rotary calendar. And also our friends and family members in the audience would have been benefited to move in the right directions in their professional life, business life, as well as in their personal life. So thank you so much for that, sir.
Welcome, sir.
May I now, before taking the questions, may I now request Rotarian Surya Prakash sir to share some thoughts about the talk about Rotarian Sundaram, sir. Sir, can you share your thoughts?
Good evening, everyone. Ellargu namaskara.
Namaskara, sir.
President Rotarian Kranti, immediate past President Arvind, Rotarian Arvind, Vocational Service Director Rotarian Ashwini, and the guest speaker, learned Rotarian Sundaram, and friends. After the interesting and lucid talk by our learned guest speaker, there is not much to say. But I would like to share two aspects on the vocational service aspect. As you all know, we have 5 avenues of service: community, club service, community service, youth service, international service, and vocational service. So the district also, all these 5 services, like it's in the club, it's in the district also. And there are 2 directors who are handling it at the district level. And there are, in each, there are some verticals. And under vocational service, there are 7 verticals. And one of them is the 4-way test vertical. And I happen to be the chairman this year. So I would like to look at it in a little different way. I want to share my take on the 4-way test of things we think, say, or do. As per the code of conduct for Rotarians, if it passes all the 4 tests, then it is an act worth doing. I want to digress a bit and draw your attention to the 5 principles or pillars on which Rotarians' action are based, and they abide by it. Rotarians abide by it. 1, fellowship. 2, leadership. 3, service. 4, diversity. And most importantly, the 5th one is the integrity. I saved integrity to the last, as it is a common factor in any of the other 4 pillars. Imagine 4 legs. Now, imagine is your theme also for this year. So you could use that theme to do this imagination. Imagine 4 legs of a stool. They are held together on the top by one plank, the seat. So fellowship, leadership, service, and diversity are the first for the 4 distinct verticals, legs of the stool. But integrity is like common plank which connects them, and integrity is a part and parcel of each and every vertical. Now let's move to the 4-way test now, which we discussed, and he so eloquently put it. I'll flip the order. We have the 4-way test. So first is everyone knows truth, second is the fairness, and third is the goodwill and friendship, fourth is the beneficial to everyone concerned. I'll flip the order a little so that you can imbibe the essence of it, and you can connect it with the 5 pillars of our Rotary conduct. Now, if you see, there are 4 questions in the 4-way test, but there's one question which is having 2 questions in it. And I'll come to that. You see the 3rd enunciation, it says, will it build goodwill? And then will it build better friendship? There are 2 questions in the 3rd. So in all, there are 5 pillars also in this 4-way test. We first ask the question, will it build goodwill, and will it bring better friendship? So technically, you can compare it or draw a parallel with the earlier stool analogy, and well as the this thing, 5 pillars: fellowship and better friendship, leadership and leadership and goodwill. Now, how is goodwill is a thing which is having a, it's an intangible asset, goodwill. But all the companies have by far the most valuable asset is the goodwill. Same way, leadership, you have to keep on doing it, and you cannot sit on your past laurels and have, say, leadership. Every day you have to do, like you have to keep building on the goodwill to maintain it. So keep building on your leadership qualities to maintain it. Now, then we have the other question, will it be beneficial to all concerned? That means there's an empathy factor coming in here, which is the service pillar, the third pillar of our this thing. Again, we ask, is it fair to all concerned? That is the diversity aspect in our 5-pillar analogy mentioned earlier. See, in diversity, we feel that there are, is it fair to all concerned? It's not that we are having a diverse membership, diverse in the society, it's a diversity abundant. So is it fair to all concerned means, is it equal to everyone? No, it is not equal to everyone. It is equitable to everyone. So that's a little difference in that. So I would like to bring it to that. It is not equal, but it is equitable. Finally, we come to the question, is it the truth? Which is the binding to all the 4 questions mentioned above. Remember the 4-leg stool analogy I gave. So truth is the binding factor. It's the seat of the stool, all the 4 other verticals. Actually, if you think of it, what is truth? I want to differentiate between truth and fact. Fact is a reality and cannot be logically disputed or rejected. It is an objective nature, fact. On the other hand, truth is partly subjective. Through a truth that conflicts with facts is not sustainable, but it is primarily molded by the perspective of an individual and the experience of the individual. They could change because perception and experience also changes. So, and what I bring an aspect here, championing the truth should not violate the other aspects of the 4-way test, which is very important. So, yes, any action we think, say or do should pass all the 4-way tests. I want you to apply this filter in this reverse order or flipped order and see, so that whether it all the 3 questions, goodwill, better friendship, beneficial to all, fair to all, and then the final, is it the truth? Now, this is my take on it. So you can, I think I've given you some thoughts for thinking. Now I'll come to the other thing about the district programs. Now, I want to share with you some ideas which you can apply to your club projects, and you can see the good results. One is for the interact people. Conducting story-based competitions to school students using 4-way test, sharing various stories from Panchatantra, Mahabharata, Ramayana, maybe Aesop tales or Arabian Nights, etc. It will give a good response from the interact members. Then for Rotaract, you can have a debate competition on 4-way test to pick issues connected with future of earth, environment, water, etc., etc. Then for the Rotarians themselves, we can think of inter-district essay competition, 1. 2, plan for podcasts, small audio or audio visual casts, so you can broadcast, podcast as it's called, on use of and implication of a four-way test by noteworthy Rotarians and other noteworthy civilians also. The usual competition of a compilation of a coffee book table book with articles of noteworthy Rotarians can be applied, can be compiled and shared, or there's already one from the last year, it is available, it can be shared with others, and similar more contributions can come, they can have ideas and like that. So these are all the some basic ideas which I wanted to share with you from the aspects which you can do in the four-way test vertical. And that's it. Thank you very much. Over to you, Ashwin.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and also those wonderful ideas. We can take it forward. Now, may I ask the audience to, if they have any questions, you can come forward and ask your questions so that our chief guest and the speaker will try to answer your questions. Anybody has any questions, please come forward, unmute yourself, and you can ask your question. Not only question, if you want to share your thoughts, if you want to share your experience about this session, is also welcome. Do we have anyone who wants to unmute?
All participants are allowed to unmute themselves, so you can unmute and go ahead with the questions.
Yeah, thanks, Chandana. Anybody has any questions?
Okay. Good evening, Shankar and Suryaprakash sir. The session was very excellent. You have shared a valuable points and really you put it in a very wonderful way. It is so beneficial to each and everyone who listen. So thank you.
Thank you.
Our pleasure, sir. Thank you.
Anybody else want to share anything about the talk? Please unmute yourself and you can talk.
They are shy.
Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
This is Usha from downtown. And firstly, thanks to Sundaram and then Suryaprakash, both for their presentation. And I was only wanting to, I got a little confused towards the end when Suryaprakash was talking about, the 5 legs, but then what is his expectation from us? In the sense, how does he want to execute this as a project, and how does he want our support under each club? So for an example, I am part of the occasional service as a director for downtown, and because this is also part of the occasions, what is the expectation that you have from me? So that hasn't come out as a clarity. So if you could clarify a little more in detail that what exactly is it? Because you talked about road tractor, essay competitions and so many things. Maybe many of the clubs don't even have, road tractors. Now we are also going to be struggling to renew the road tractors because there is subscriptions come in and so many other challenges that we are all coming through, right? So apart from that, what is differently that you want to do, and how do you want to exactly achieve something that you want to achieve?
Usha ma'am, the thing is, when we speak about 4-way tests, we are talking of the principles or theory, in the sense how we should mold ourselves, how should we act in our, and how should we think, how should we do, or how should we say whatever we want to do. But actually you have to put all these principles into practice and make it a small project. So what we were trying to say is that if you conduct a story-based competition, from these things you can probably make a story out of like in diversity we stand, we fall apart. In unity we stand together. So that kind of a thing, you can take an example from Panchatantra and make a story and project it to, let's say, interact students. So they will appreciate it and they will imbibe the whatever message you are wanting to share. That's where the main idea. So, and if you debate if a competition is held for Rotaractors, see, debating points are not always necessarily the right points, but they enrich your thinking. They bring out so many logical points. Sometimes not only logical, rhetorical points are also brought out, and it becomes very interesting. And so how you can say, whether you can say the good points of four-way test, and you can also say what are the lacuna in four-way test, how it doesn't practically fit into our practical life. Four-way test. I mean, can you always tell the truth? No. Sometimes you tell white lies. White lies are okay. It's acceptable. Like if someone is, I want to say that he or she is beautiful, that's all perfectly all right. There's nothing. Unless until, so you have to use this principle to understand and imbibe it and then pass it on to the youngsters or to our own friends and colleagues and other Rotarians and like that. So the third thing is, when I said we can think of inter-district essay competition for Rotarians. So, and you can ask some well-known Rotarians to give a podcast. That means he can give a vocal, small 60 seconds or 2 minutes podcast about one aspect of four-way test, which can be shared. So that's how it can be spread. It's basically spreading the our credo that we follow the four-way test. Rotarians follow four-way test, and we would like to explain what it means, because, and as I told you, you could tell about the good points as also some impractical points also. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have you tried or think towards using a Clubhouse account? Are you aware of the app Clubhouse? And every week at a certain specified time, we could make one person talk about what four-way test, a four-way means to them. And we can choose the people as a speaker. Have you tried a Clubhouse?
No, I have not tried. I am not aware of that. Yeah, it looks very interesting. You can share how it can be done, and if you are having a group of all vocational service directors.
Yes.
That group, if you share, it will catch up with everyone, and then if all Rotarians can come, or at least all the vocational service directors of so many 160 clubs can come in. And
come in, yes, that's what I was thinking. And it should be like every week and a particular time fixed for it. And it can also be, shared. The link can be shared with Rotaractors, Interactors, whoever is available. And that's something
I think it's a very good idea. You must share it with the district directors also. You can post it in the group. They'll also come to know.
Sir. I will do, sir.
Very nice. Very nice.
I will do. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Usha, for asking this question and also giving a wonderful idea of Clubhouse. Indeed, Clubhouse is a wonderful platform which you have suggested. Definitely, we will take this forward. And we almost come to the end of today's session. So may I ask our Secretary, Rotarian Chandana, to present the vote of thanks.
Am I audible?
Yes, Chandana. Thank you.
A very good evening to all of you, and and hope you all, had enjoyed this wonderful session about four-way test. Firstly, I would like to extend a hearty thanks to Rotarian Sundaram sir. Thank you so much for enlightening us about the four-way test and highlighting the entire, all the four-way process and the tests, and also giving us relevant examples and connecting us through various things. Thank you so much, sir. A special thanks to our chief guest, Rotarian Surya Prakash sir. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for highlighting on the pillars of the four-way test, as well as the 5 pillars, which is very important for all the Rotarians. Thank you so much. A special thanks to Rotarian Ashwin sir, our vocational service director, the man behind this program, who has organized this so well. Thank you so much, Ashwin sir. Thank you so much to our president, Kranti. Thank you so much for Pinky for singing the occasional song. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to all the Rotarians who are present here. And thank you so much for giving your valuable time and being a patient audience. Thanks a lot to all my Rotary Bangalore Abilities members for being here and supporting this program. And once again, a special, very special thanks to all of you for being here. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thanks, Chandana. So it's time to close the session. Once again, thanks everyone for making up your time and attending this session, and wish you all a very good night. Take care and have a wonderful week ahead.
Good night.
Kranti, adjourn the meeting, please.
Bye-bye. Yeah, may I ask Rotarian Kranti to adjourn the meeting? Kranti, are you there? I think she's dropped.
On behalf of her, I'll be adjourning the meeting.
Yeah,
The
great.
meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Chandana. Thanks, everyone. Good night, all.
Good night, all.
Good night.
Good night, madam.